We're live.
Live. Excellent. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the closing party for Sagrada on Kickstarter. We've got just under an hour left on the project, and I have with me Daryl Andrews, co-designer of Sagrada. Say hello.
Hi, everyone.
We don't really have a huge agenda here. We just wanted to hang out and make a big deal out of the closing of this amazing project. Say hello.
Hi, everyone. Oh,
we don't really have a huge agenda here. We just wanted to.
we have the echo because you have the YouTube open.
I had to close it.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know what I'm
You
doing.
can just mute it.
Cool.
Oh.
All right, now we're good.
Now we're good.
We're back.
People just get a double intro. That's all.
Great. Yeah. It was so good you had to live it twice. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we asked you guys to send in questions, and we got a decent response from that. So we've got a bunch of those that we'll toss in as we go. But
nice.
To start with, Daryl, how are you feeling about this project?
I am so over the moon. This is so cool. I'm not saying that like I didn't hope for this great of a response, but I didn't expect it. So both Adrian and I was just talking to him, and he says, he wishes he was here, but I was talking with him, and we're really ecstatic with the response, and we're hoping as people get their copies too, then the word will just even spread even more that people love their game and share it with their friends.
Definitely. Yeah, we got a great response at Gen Con when we were showing it off, and then at Grand Con just last month. Wow, it feels like forever ago. And I just can't wait to start getting the samples in and showing everything to everyone, and especially early next year when we actually get to ship things off and get it in your hands.
Yes. So pretty amazing that we reached all our stretch goals.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
That's incredible. Wow.
Like every time I'm planning out a project, I always have all of these various like crazy things that I'd like to do, and then you kind of throttle it back because everything costs and all that. And it's just amazing to have gotten to the point where this is like the game I wanted us to make. So
yes, yeah, I'm super excited, and some amazing stretch goals in the mix. I'm super psyched about not only like the cloth bag for like the favor tokens, the spot UV is gonna be super cool, and then just reaching now like the plastic insert and the logo on the dice bag, so cool.
Yes.
Plus, I was really very hopeful everyone would get all like the tool and objective cards and all that kind of stuff. So
you got to have the extra gameplay stuff, but it's nice to be able to add the icing of the upgraded components and everything.
So cool.
Speaking of the insert, we did get a question about whether or not, I think this came up a couple times and then a couple times in the comments. Yes, I will do everything I can to make sure the plastic insert fits sleeved cards. Yeah. I sleeve my cards for the games I like to play the most. And
I'll be sleeving my copy.
Good. It's not a huge extra consideration. We just have to make sure that it's in there when laying everything out and whatnot. And I think we have enough space in the box where it's not really going to be a concern for the layout. So I'll do my best with it. I haven't sat down and laid it out in any sort of software or anything yet, but I've kind of dry laid out the pieces, and I don't really see a problem there. So I think it's likely going to be set up where the cards are oriented vertically to get everything to sit nicely, which I kind of like because it's easier to grip them to pull them out of a insert. But, yes, everyone, I will do my best to make sure they fit sleeve. The tricky part about that too is you want to be in this Goldilocks zone of size, because if you go too big, then all your cards are sloshing around when you don't have them sleeved, which is, I think, the majority of gamers probably don't sleeve their cards. So
yeah,
it's a little bit tricky, but not that hard.
Doable.
Space in the box, right? All right, let's see. What else do we have for some questions? A lot of very nice compliments, thank yous and whatnot. So good to see.
People have been super nice.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
awesome.
And
the comment section has been insane. I gotta say, I've never seen so many comments, yet at the same time, so much kindness. Like sometimes you see that many comments on a campaign where everyone's like angry, but you don't. And that's not what we were hoping for. And when I saw the first, I feel like the first like day or two, we had like 100 comments, and I was like, oh no. Because that was my first instinct is lots of comments means lots of people angry. And then when it went on, I was like, wow, lots of happy people. All right.
Good. I can deal with this.
Yeah, these are good comments.
Yeah.
I'll read these.
And for those of you who do make those comments, we really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you don't know already, that's really great for us. Like it feels good, but it's also good to get that positive message that, hey, we're on track for what you expect. And it doesn't always have to be fluffy or anything, but just like a thumbs up, a super good. We feel like this is a good decision. Like that feedback is really great. And I mean, critical feedback too is super helpful.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of things that people through the comments influence because of, when we saw a lot of people kind of saying the same thing, then I was like, oh, well, let's pay attention to that.
Totally. Yeah, and to that point, which was one of the questions that came up as well, we did have a lot of critical feedback on the player board decision-making process. And first of all, thank you for all of you who stuck through that, which is most of you, as we worked that out. It's actually one of my favorite parts about running Kickstarter campaign is you kind of get to make these refining tweaks as you go and then get feedback and feed that back into the process. And as I'm finishing things out to really get the game to be exactly where we all want it to be. So it was really great to be able to get that feedback. And that kind of helped me nudge back in the direction of where the game needs to go. There's a lot of considerations that go into decisions like that. Like you may have seen in the comments about weight and size and the look and feel and usability of the components on the board, all of those things. But I'm really happy with where we settled on that. And to that point, I do have a white sample of the player board, which I haven't shown to you guys yet, so I'm excited.
Wow.
Super cool. Right?
Oh, man.
Here's the little slot where the cards are going to slide in.
So cool.
And then this is the die cut area where your dice will fit in.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
If I can angle it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be pretty exciting. It's a nice shape. Hopefully not too big on the board. I'm still feeling like they're just a hair bigger than I'd like them to be for board presence, but they just look too nice to.
They do look amazing.
Smaller. So.
Talking about really, Peter. Wow.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Wow, he nailed it. I'm so proud to have had him on this project, and he just brought to life everything that both Adrian and I were talking, and we were just like, it was better than we could imagine, and it was also kind of like exactly what we hoped for, even though we didn't know exactly what we hoped for. Like, oh, so good.
That's awesome. So, Daryl, maybe I just want to know what else are you working on right now?
Good question. Working on a few different things. I actually have because I did fantasy baseball with JR Honeycutt. We were working on some of the other titles, some different sports. So we just finished up football, and we're also talking about figuring out hockey. So that's really fun. On the design front.
Take a minute, because I love the name for that game. Can you just let that name sink in for people?
Yeah, it's fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
So it's fantasy creatures playing fantasy sports.
I love it.
Yeah, both JR and I are big fantasy sports fans and gamers, so we thought let's bring the two worlds of kind of jocks and geeks together again, and realize that we're all just big nerds that love something, and so we can play nice with each other now. So it was kind of like inspired by a meme that there was people all like hunched over writing stuff down on pieces of paper, and the meme just said fantasy sports is just like Dungeons and Dragons for jocks, and it was like, yeah, it is. So let's work this out. So yeah,
It's
so
so
that's
fun.
one I'm working on. Adrian and I are always playing around with designs. We actually have a new game coming out from IDW called Mine All Mines, and that'll hopefully be coming out in kind of Christmas time ish or before. And that's my joke is it's Splendor with a theme. So it has dwarves all kind of building off of each other's mines, and sometimes you can be friendly with each other, and sometimes you can use your pickaxe for other reasons. And so you can scoop up some jewels and try to present some jewelry to the king before everyone else. So
I like it.
yeah, so that I'm really excited about. Adrian and I had been working on that one for a while, and really proud of that one.
So cool for you guys to have basically a 1-2 punch with Mino Lines and then Sagrada coming right afterwards.
Yeah, really psyched about that. So, I'm trying to think what else. I'm working on a dice game that has a license, that hopefully will work out. And I'm really early in the design, but it's Space Invaders.
Oh, like the
So
old
the
80s video.
old school, like I grew up. That was like my first video game.
Nice.
So my mom worked at a restaurant chain called Chi Chi's. I don't know
Okay.
if you ever heard of that.
Infinite
Mex-
chips and salsa. I'm there.
yeah, they still make the salsa. So, so they had a restaurant, and my mom after school, she'd always kind of like stick me somewhere, like pick me up from school, and then drop me off in the bar area before it got busy. And there was a tabletop version of Space Invaders, and I would always the bartender would open it up so I could, just keep hitting the reset button, not have to pay any coins, and that was my jam was Space Invaders. So
I like it.
yeah,
And now how cool that you get to work on that IP.
So psyched. So when I got contacted and I got chatting, I was like, oh, I need this. Like I was like the person said, oh, pitch us your idea. I was like, I pitched them the idea, but I also like begged. I'm like, please. And it's dice, and I love dice. So
that's awesome. That's so cool. Let's see. We got a couple more questions too. This one just says any more games in the pipeline. So that's kind of what you're working on.
Well, what about you?
Kind of touch on what. Yeah. We've got a couple things. Our next one, I just started getting art in for it. It's going to be a small 2-player only game, head-to-head competition, where the theme is riders on monsterback who are in like an epic joust of sorts, where we've tamed these sort of fantasy beasts, and they're going at each other head-to-head in a clash. Working on the title still. We've got a couple working titles that are not quite there yet, but as soon as that's ready, we'll announce it. But the game's just.
Is this your design or someone else?
It's not. It's designed by a couple brothers. They're from Kentucky, I believe. Tim Jesserun is his name. And I've had this one in my pocket for a while, and it just hasn't been the right time yet. And I'm so ready to publish this one now. It's everybody I play it with just loves it. It's 24 cards. The game is and has so much depth to it for this few of components. I'm really pumped to share this one with everyone. So keep an eye out for that in the coming months, probably maybe a month or two. We'll start announcing things for that. We of course have the Villain's Vacation expansion, which is right now on a ship on its way to the EU and to America for Kickstarter fulfillment, and then after that it'll hit retail. Also really excited to get that into the hands of backers. We had some manufacturing complications that slowed things down a little bit, but we've worked out the kinks there, and I don't anticipate that with Sagrada, seeing as we're working with a different manufacturer on this game. So it should be good. I'm excited to move forward on that. So we've got the small game, which has no title yet, and then a couple bigger projects for next year. They're on the cusp of being able to announce them. So apologies for all the secret information.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we have more games for you, and if you like the games we publish, you'll probably like these as well.
They just need to sign up for the newsletter.
It's true. We do have the newsletter. There's a link right at the top, floodgategames.com. Sign up for the newsletter. I don't like spamming people. I send them only when I have important information to say. So I promise you a spam-free. Well, I can't promise you a spam-free inbox, but I can at least promise you.
But like a modest
free.
spamming.
Very good. This is a really interesting question. This one says, how stressful was this Kickstarter compared with the other ones you've created? We touched on a little bit of the player board feedback, and I wouldn't exactly say stressful, but it's really great to get that level of feedback and kind of step back for a minute and say, whoa, this is important to people. And I kind of was intentionally quiet for about the first day when the feedback was coming in. Kind of let the information trickle through and get people's just raw response before I start reacting too much to that. That was probably the biggest point of contention on anything. I think it was almost the only point of contention on anything here.
I thought you handled it really well. I mean,
thanks.
I feel like you really listened to people, and like your goal was to make sure that everyone was satisfied. Like you were listening and seeing like why and what people wanted, while also practically, there's some factors that need to be worked out. It was too big. So I think ultimately like we got the best solution in the end.
And for those of you who've joined us since the previous time I showed it, this is I have a white sample here of the player board. So we're really excited. This is what they'll look like. No banana for scale, but you can use my head for scale. Yeah, so we've got the cutout slot. It's 3 layers. You'll slide your window pattern card in there. If you can get it just right. Slide that in there, and then these cutouts will hold the dice in place when it's flat on the table. They'll keep them right and locked in. So really nice tolerance on that too, so the dice don't slide around too much. A good amount of space so you can still pick them up and move them if you need to. Some of the tool cards allow for that. Nice thick construction.
That's amazing.
So I'm just really excited about how unique this component is too.
Yeah.
I'm a huge sucker for modular pieces and things like that.
Absolutely. No, that is cool. Wow. I also just want to give a shout out. If people want to share with their friends, we are 43 backers away.
Oh my.
43 away from 3,000.
And is that in?
It's basically we need a backer a minute. We need a backer a minute
to hit 3,000. I
feel like I should be like on a telecom and like just calling people.
We have people on. They're ready to take your call right in the other room.
That's right.
The internet doesn't work that way, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yes, I'm so excited. There are so many amazing backers on this project, and it's just been awesome to see the outpouring of support. We were mentioning that earlier. The feedback's been great. It's been constructive and positive, and just really that sense of community is there for this very brief amount of time. Everybody's kind of getting together and rallying on this around this one game, and it's just so cool to see people get excited like that. I love it.
Yeah, very excited. Yeah, it's been really cool to even just see like shares and likes, and yeah, pretty humbling. We have good people. Good people.
Best backers in the world.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Daryl.
Okay.
What are your top 3 games right now? The games you like to play.
Oh man.
I know. This is hard.
That's tough. Oh, give me like some restraints. Like, that's tough.
Okay, how about top 3 you've played this year? How does that help?
No. Let me think through this. Okay. Top 3.
What have you played recently that stood out?
Okay, recent's better. That cuts it down.
Okay.
Well, recently I played. What is it? How do you say this game again? Joraku. Yeah, Joraku. Have you ever played that?
I haven't.
Let me show you the box. Maybe I'm just butchering how you say it. Oh, game done. All right. Draku, you seen this?
Oh, interesting.
It is
It's a real.
I want to say like Korean, but I'm sorry, Taiwan. Made in Taiwan. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was maybe just printed in Taiwan.
Nice.
But anyways, it is awesome. It's a card game, area control.
Okay.
And so those are two things that I love. I love card games and I love area control, and I never thought about mixing those two things. So you're just like kind of playing a card game but moving around these territories. So you have this little map and you move people around, try to have majorities. And the scoring each round, there's 3 rounds, and it changes. So each region is like more or less valuable at different times in the kingdom. Just nice, tight, clever design. And designer, yeah, I'm not even going to be able to say that. Iori Tukasunami. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, Iori. But super good game.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for making it so now I have to buy another game.
Yes. Yeah, it was good. I'm trying to think how I got it because it's tricky. Oh, I probably got it from Board Game Bliss. They're a online retailer out of Toronto area. So, and they do a lot of imports. I played a bunch of Hey, That's My Fish recently. Can't complain about that. And I actually I played Splendor last night, so that was a good time. I mean, I made a joke that it had no theme, but it's a good time. My wife likes it. And the new Ticket to Ride. Really like it.
Oh,
Rails and Sails.
I haven't tried that yet.
It's more gamer, like more gamery-ish, and it's a little longer. And the little longer I like because it feels like there's more ways to win. So
okay, you're kind of. Does it feel like there's a little more progression as you're playing?
There is,
as opposed to like I'm building my routes, getting points, and then we're done. Is there a little more?
Yeah, there's a little more progression, a little more cutthroatness of like the routes, which is nice. I like that element. That it's like you really got to go around places if you don't get what you need. So I really like that, and there was another Ticket to Ride. I think it was England, and it is also really good. I've been playing that as well lately because it has a progression because there's technology.
Oh, interesting.
So you gotta even just basic things like you have to be able to there's islands, so you don't have the technology to go across until you gain it and things like that, or you can't do routes that are long until you have the locomotives to handle longer routes and stuff like that. So
that sounds like a really good natural extension of the game.
Yeah, it's just little added progressive challenges to a core game that people are familiar with.
I like it.
So
I just started taking a look at some of the comments coming in on YouTube here, and
nice.
If I missed them because I missed them earlier. Well, Kelson looks like he actually also used to work at Chi-Chi's. He mentioned, which is
nice.
I don't know how important Space Invaders was to him, but
Chi-Chi's. He had Chi-Chi's. It was my favorite restaurant.
I will go anywhere that has infinite chips and salsa.
Yeah, and it had infinite chips and salsa. It was they had. I always loved the refried ice cream or whatever, the fried ice cream.
Yeah,
that's always
blew
awesome.
my mind. I was like, how do you fry ice cream?
Right. That was always good. I actually also a little known Daryl fact. I hated reading, and the way that I was bribed to read was I would always get a free meal at Chi-Chi's if I read a book, which was silly because my mom worked there and I could have free meals really anyways, but I still thought that was a great bribe. So
as a child, your parents already providing for you for free.
Exactly. But I got to choose anything I wanted, and that freedom just felt like a great reward. So
I like it. That's very good. And now you've retained your reading ability through your adulthood, I'm sure.
yep. Thanks to Chi-Chi's. I'm a reader.
Amazing. Ian Moss on the comments mentioned that he also loves Jiraku, and they play it
Yeah,
almost every month. It's good. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Now I have to go buy it. Jerks. Bunch of
it happens.
Very good. Let's see. We've got a bunch more comments or questions in the polls. This one says, why did Snake Man not make it into the rulebook as terminology for the snake draft looped player in Sagrada? Nice. That's from Dan Marto, one of the guys who helps me out with a lot of playtesting and everything. And that was one of our jokes as we were talking about the snake draft.
Very nice.
We would refer to the person who's on the wheel. They would be the Snake Man.
The Snake Man. That's a good like a house rule description to help people remember who's the Snake Man.
You are welcome to adopt that on your demos.
Excellent. I might bring that into my regular teach of the game.
If there was some sort of hat that can go along with it, that'd be good.
That'll be the deluxe version. There'll be a Snake Man hat.
Well, Codenames comes with a hat, doesn't it? If you pick it up from
does it?
From those folks. We have a Codenames hat.
Really?
No, it's an unusual suspect. Not Codenames, Unusual Suspects.
Oh,
sorry.
Yes, Unusual Suspects definitely has a hat. That's right.
Yeah, I'm mixing my like police or mystery things. Yeah, we have the Unusual Suspects hat.
Nice. Yeah.
Or the Snake Man Sagrada hat.
Do you have a cool mini version, or do you have? Okay.
We weren't able to get a hold of it last year, so yeah, we just picked it up and did the link.
Did you do the photo?
Yeah, we got a photo.
Oh, nice. I never had time to get a photo, but they looked awesome.
Emily and I scheduled ourselves 2 separate hours to walk the hall. We got one of them, which we expected. And then we got about half an hour of that one, which was about all I expected.
Right.
We made it over to get the photo for our Unusual Suspects game.
That was a genius idea. Just genius.
Yeah, that was cool. And it was nice that the whole thing was it flowed really well. I was blown away by how easy it was to like just stand there and 2 seconds later you have a photo in.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Very clever. We're down to 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
I was just gonna.
Wow.
30 minutes.
Oh, another backer.
Nice. 2,960 backers right now. That's incredible.
No, it's 61. One just came in. I hit refresh.
Nice. It just updated for me too.
Wow.
Wow. Probably gonna see
crazy.
Yes, it's unreal. You guys are the best.
The best. All right. Well, what other questions do you got?
We got one from Sean. Will there be an option in the Pledge Manager to add a 5 and 6 player expansion? Specifically to whether or not it'll be in the Pledge Manager? No, Sean, unfortunately it will not. However, it is something that we've been talking about. And I believe, Daryl, you can speak more to this, but you and Adrian have been working on that.
We've been working on it. It came up, and I mean, we had already been thinking about 5-player, and really felt from our play tests that 5-player wasn't really a good experience. It wasn't popping. Like whenever we played 1, 2, 3, or 4, really great responses, and we weren't getting the same kind of response for 5. So that was why when we pitched it to Ben, we said, we're going to keep working on trying to figure out more players, but really its sweet spot is 1 to 4. And we actually have a few ideas that we're optimistic about, but like all game design, you think something's working and then you run into surprises. So,
and just to that point, I want everybody to know that we're committed to making sure everything that you get is well tested and makes sense for the experience that we're providing to you. So if it feels like we're not being responsive in some of those respects, adding a 5th player, in especially to Sagrada, is a really big deal.
mm-hmm.
For whatever it's worth, take our words for it that the game is pretty tuned in a lot of very subtle ways. Experience. So I'm not shocked when I hear what you're saying about needing to get stuff to the table to see how it works and everything. But I just want everybody to know that we hear you, and I regularly have game groups that are 5+ players too, and it would be great to play, but sometimes the game just has to be what it wants to be.
Yep. So we'll keep working on it. I'm very optimistic that we can get there. I think too it keeps the game at a reasonable price, and then people that want that will be able to get an expansion that is meaningful, because it can help in that way, and we have other ideas for other cool ways to expand the game, and people even shared great ideas, so we love that. So
yeah, that was really cool to see on this project. Not just feedback about the project, but people's sort of ideas about ways to expand the game or things to change and things to try. Some of the stuff.
It was funny because some of it we tried, and we have our reasons for liking them and not liking them, but we didn't want to say too much, Adrian and I, because we wanted to let those creative juices go. Like, people just sharing all their ideas is great, because it's a very encouraging environment that way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was great to see you guys involved in the comments too. Really helpful for me running the project. Especially with this volume of backers, but it's awesome to have that support from my end. So thanks to you guys for kicking in and answering, especially like little rules questions or things that are maybe buried a little bit in the description of the project and whatnot. It's helpful because not everybody has time to pour over the volumes of content that end up in a project page. So
it's true. Side note, we are 33 backers away. 33.
Can we do it? Can we get there?
26 minutes, 33 backers.
Man, so intense. I am almost on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
I parts of me are on the edge of the seat, I suppose. We have another, let's see, another question here. Oh, here's an interesting one, but I think we already have the answer for you, Daryl. Do you store your games vertically or horizontally? Right,
yeah.
No turning around now.
Yeah. I think people might be able to tell. I'm very much a horizontal game stacker. I'm trying to think. I have a few verticals over here. I mean, I have, sadly, this is not all my games. I have too many games. And so I am surrounded by shelves of games. So depending on the spot, I sometimes have to go vertical. And then I have drawers for all like my smaller games, and those could go in any direction. That is a game of Tetris going on.
Yeah, I have that same situation with all my little box games.
Yeah. So I have these like plastic drawer type roller things. And I have 4 of them. And then I just in the drawers put in like all my card games are in that one, and dice games are in that one. Expansions are in that one.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, thank you, Zachary Dahl, for the question. If you're interested, I actually store mine vertically.
Really?
It's just how I like to do it.
Wow. It's brave. Like I know I'll turn my game, or even like if I take it to a convention, it'll be in a bag, but short term yeah. Verticalness.
I have a lot of extra little baggies and such that I kind of try to lock down pieces that could fly all over the place.
Do you do elastics?
No.
Oh, because I like those. I have a few of them, not on a lot.
Oh, the box bands that go on the outside?
The blue ones, yeah, that go in like 4 ways.
Yeah, I do those for some of the games that I carry around a little more frequently than the others, and just kind of have a little pile of them to grab
Yeah, I like
on
those.
the. Yeah, me too. We actually, like, speaking of vertical versus horizontal storage, Peter's really great about working. Peter Walken, our graphic designer, he helps out with this. We make sure that on the bottom and top of the box, especially for Sagrada, it's oriented for horizontal storage, and then on the box side, it's oriented for vertical storage. So regardless of how you choose to store your games, you should still be able to easily read
You can do
the
both.
name of the game. You could every day you could change it back and forth.
Just keep switching.
Every day.
Or get 2 copies and put one vertically and one horizontally.
Yeah. Gargi in the comments is a mixer. They have horizontal and vertical.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of our games are stored on their shelf.
Nice.
It looks like vertical. Oh, vertical for Vault Wars even. Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, the box was not the best setup for vertical. I mean, it could work. It definitely.
I mean, it's got a nice kind of magnet lid thing going, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
So no matter what.
Treasure chest.
Yeah. Yeah, my copy's just over there. You can see it from here.
Yeah, Vault Wars was our previous game, not counting the expansion to Epic Resort that we published last year. This one's designed by John Gilmore, friend of ours.
Yeah.
I feel it's safe to say.
Actually, John and I have an upcoming series of games that are going to come out.
Oh, really? Let's hear more about that.
Well, they're tiny. They're going to be decks of cards. Like, just the whole game is crunched down to a deck of cards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
is it a? I don't want to. Please don't feel pressured to divulge too much. Is it?
I can out whatever with these. It's it's with IDW, and they're different kind of like almost horror locations, survival, where you got to survive so many days in like Chernobyl or like the Amazon or like Siberia, and you're like at this outpost for like say 30 days. And so the days are initiated by the flipping of a card, and yet it plays 2 to 5 players, and you're trying to survive, but the cards are multi-use, so they're multi-purpose in that they have like items on it, but they also have like events or villains that you have to survive. And so depending on if you're drawing them to your hand or if you're flopping them on the table, then you look at a different aspect of the card.
So
and
cool.
Then, yeah, so it's just like a deck of cards, and it's 20-30 minutes of like playing a little survivalist game, and can you like fight off the monsters and weird creatures and survive the amount of days before the rescue helicopter comes.
The next question is, can we play this at BGGCon next month?
Yeah, probably. Hopefully. I'll have a copy on me.
Get to work. Get it refined, right?
Yeah, well, it's done. It's signed. It's just they're actually in the like acquiring art process.
Oh,
so I don't know.
You guys are real far out.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, one of the worlds might be done in art. I don't even know if they're going to do different artists for different ones or if it's the same artist for the series, but the idea is to kind of stagger them out.
Yeah.
And the original premise and why we designed and pitched it was actually inspired by the movie / comic 30 Days a Night.
Okay, yeah.
So we originally pitched it to IDW, and they were like, hey, we really like this, but we're not doing anything with that IP for a year or two. So because they had originally made like the movie and made the comic series and everything, but they said we'd have to hold back. But our hope is that if the game works and people like it, then maybe by the time, maybe they'll do a 30 Days a Night version as well.
Yeah, that can be kind of that would almost be a reskin, it seems, of the core game. Cool. Yeah, I like the idea of the series. That sounds really, really cool.
Thanks.
Best of luck to you guys on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, John and I, it was inspired by us like kind of brainstorming what we didn't like about games, and then in spite of it, then that like kind of was a reaction. We designed it.
Let's see. back to the questions. How about?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Where are we at? 20 minutes?
Well, 18. Wow.
Whoa. Coming up right at the end here. Oh, I just got a question coming through from Gargi again in the comments, asking if I'm coming over to Essen for Spiel this year. I'm not. I've tried really hard to make it happen. I know. It's unfortunate. But
Will you go next year?
I would love to. I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen next year. How about you,
Nice.
Daryl?
I'm going to go next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You should maybe coordinate some.
Totally.
Some great
I actually was sent a message yesterday asking from Josh, what's his last name? Githens? Asking if, yeah. And he was asking if Sagrada was going to be at Essen to see. And I was like, sadly, Ben and I will not be there. So
I know. I wish it would have worked out, but here
we'll just have to wait.
Maybe we'll be showing off a 5 and 6 player expansion next year.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Not to get too ahead of ourselves.
Not to get too ahead, or maybe there'll be a different language version. Maybe there'll be a German version by Essen.
Yeah, to that point, I've gotten that question a lot, much more in direct messages than in the comments during the Kickstarter campaign. But we're talking with a few different publishers for localization to various languages. So stay tuned on that. There's nothing solid right now, so the English version is planned to be the only version at the moment. But we'll keep everybody informed as that moves forward. That being said, it's a fairly language independent game.
Yeah,
I think. With this supplement, go ahead.
The pictures and everything show a lot of it too. So even the cards and like reading the rules to know what they mean, they're pretty intuitive. They're pretty straightforward. Like you can pretty much figure out most of them because Peter just does a really good job of articulating an idea visually.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that you have that visual reinforcement because the descriptions sometimes aren't quite enough to really quite figure out what I'm allowed to do or intended to do. And
totally,
it's almost like you look at the graphic and you get a sense of what you're able to do with that tool, and then you read the description to sort of get the detail of how to go about it or whatever. So yeah, we're really happy with how those turned out, for sure. We've got another question from the poll that we took. This one's from Zachary also. I'm curious because we got the answer about your games. Do you have a separate gaming table? And I think this means separate from, say, your kitchen table.
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I kind of have this table that I'm on that I usually do design here. Although right now it's an incredible mess.
Okay.
And then I do take over often the dining table, and then basically whenever people are coming over, or if my wife has just been sick of seeing my prototypes all over the place, then that area gets cleaned up. So, but I would say usually my dining table is my gaming table with others, and then this is kind of like my alone design table right here.
Do you find that it's nice to leave things out so you can?
I do. Yeah, I like it just kind of cooking, and then I walk by and I'm just, when a brainwave hits, it's there, and I can just start moving bits around. That's really helpful for me.
I like it. Very cool. Thanks for the great questions.
Yeah. Zach. How about you, Ben?
Oh, yes, we do have a separate gaming table. However, we often end up playing on the kitchen table because everybody likes being near the food and beverages and all that. But we'll play on both.
Yeah, do you have a fancy gaming table?
No, this is it. It was our old sort of pub height kitchen table, and it's just got a nice wood grain and looks really good. So
cool.
We decided to keep that. And, earlier this year, moved from an apartment to a house. So
nice.
Now we finally have space for the kitchen table and the gaming table.
Because that is the dream. Like that's on my bucket list is someday to get one of those like really cool, like Geek Chic or Geek and Sons or one of those like really fancy tables.
Yeah,
Someday.
We are 14 minutes.
Wow.
2,972 backers.
Wow.
So close.
20. Oh,
So close.
another one. Got a new backer.
I don't know.
Wow. 27 away.
I feel like we might hit it. We might hit the.
Now
so
we're at like we need 2 a minute. 2 a minute.
We're 2 a minute though. Yeah, the pace is not keeping up.
No, I'm afraid.
I don't even. It doesn't even work like that. It's not. People are not like a river of water that's flowing or anything.
Yeah, there could be a flood of people that come. Huh? See what I did there? A floodgate joke?
I like it. Just scanning the comments, making sure, see if we have a couple other questions that may have come in at the last minute. A lot of compliments. Thank you guys so much. Again, it warms our heart. No, really, it does.
It really does.
Awesome to get that feedback.
And I also want to give a shout out to all the demo people at Gen Con. You had an awesome team of people, and they were not only awesome at explaining the game and like getting people interested, and like every time I walked by, they were always showing people, which was awesome. Like just like good stamina, but also they were very encouraging. Like it was always exciting. I'd walk by and I felt like, first of all, that you had a million demo people because I felt like I met so many different people, and every one of them was very complimentary of Sagrada, which was super humbling and super nice. So shout out to all the Gen Con volunteers. You were amazing.
Yeah, they're incredible. I couldn't do what I do without such amazing people. I would list you all, but there's lots of you. You know who you are. Thank you so much. To that point, we're growing, and things are getting bigger all the time. And if you are interested in being part of the team, please reach out to me and we'll chat and see what makes sense. I love having people get involved if they want to be a part of the behind the scenes magic that goes into making everything we do. So please reach out if you're interested, if that's something that you'd be into. Standing for 8 hours a day, talking nonstop.
And yet everyone seems to be having a good time.
Yeah, it's really great. We have a blast, and I love being at conventions and meeting people. It's probably my favorite aspect about conventions. I mean, I love getting together and gaming, of course, but being able to connect with the folks who are playing our games and meet new people and share our games with them. Those two things are just the best. It's so good.
Any idea? Here I'm asking questions. Any idea of what conventions the next year kind of con schedule you're hoping to hit?
Yeah, we're gonna probably repeat everything we did this year.
Cool.
For the most part. So Con of the North is our local convention here in Minneapolis.
Whenabouts is that?
That's in January.
Cool.
And then there's a proto spiel here. So that's really early in the game design process. Designers will go and meet with publishers and folks. So we'll be there at proto spiel here in Minneapolis. So that's exciting. That one's also in January. Not sure about PAX South, which we did last year. That was awesome. That's such a fun convention, and I love to see that. That's the only PAX I've been to, but I've heard all of them are just incredible experience, and it's great to see that crossover of what are typically video gamers or who like self-describe them as video gamers, and they're just so open to seeing new experiences with tabletop gaming. So we'll keep doing our best to bring people into the fold, into our amazing hobby. Other than that, we're doing Gen Con, of course. We might try for Origins this year.
Ooh.
We haven't even done BGG this year, but we'll likely do it again next year because that's an awesome convention. And then Grand Con, which is just so much fun. It's a small convention, September in Grand Rapids, but I love it. Like that's where we've had a ton of opportunity to hang out and play. How about you? How's your con schedule for now?
Well, I want to echo the Grand Con shout out because this game was pitched at Grand Con, so
It was Grand
uh,
Con 2000.
so thank you, Grand Con. Um, yeah, basically the same is the goal next year, and I'm really planning on Essen. I for sure want to be at Essen next year. So
Yes,
um,
please.
yeah, I think we'll see if with my new role with IDW if they want me to be at a few more. I mean, it would be nice to. I got to go to Geekway of the West last year. That was really fun.
Heard that's a blast.
Yeah, I went with John Gilmore,
Oh,
designer of
nice.
Vault Wars, and yeah, that was really fun. It was a great show, and they're even growing bigger, so they actually had to change location. So this coming year is going to be a new location. So if you've never gone, you can go this year, and you're just like everyone else. No one knows where they're going. So, uh, yeah, so that was good. I've never been, but I want to go to Dice Tower Con next year.
That's important.
Yeah, so it's in Orlando, and I find flights are really cheap to Florida, especially in the middle of the summer. So I feel like that one could be
I
pretty
wonder why that
reasonable.
ain't.
I don't know why. I don't know why everyone. Hey, from Canada, if you want some heat.
Yeah,
So
all the way.
no, I will be hiding inside with air conditioning, but I'm I am very much an AC fan. But I would really like to hit that up too. A few people have vouched that it's very BGG ish, so
Oh,
I think that's high praise.
yeah, very
Uh,
good.
trying to think what other cons. Yeah,
It's a good full schedule.
yeah, it should be fun.
I like it.
Ooh,
We are 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Wow, and 25 to go.
I,
Wow,
I,
I don't think we're gonna do it, but it's still pretty cool that we got so close.
this, I am incredibly ecstatic for the backers we do have. This is
Yes,
awesome.
yeah, this is wild.
It's intense, right? Like I can't get over the end of a Kickstarter project. There's something about it. It's so much fun.
So I'm very excited because today is pretty much the ultimate day for me. I've kind of set it up. Um, so the Kickstarter, the countdown, and then when we're done and we go off air, I'm immediately driving downtown Toronto because I'm a big baseball fan, and it's game number 3 for the Blue Jays. My wife surprised me with tickets.
No way. What a day.
So this is just like Christmas. I said last night, like I don't know how I'm gonna sleep. This is like my adult version of Christmas. So
There's an
so
outpouring of stuff.
Tanny
That's
Tanny
awesome.
took my phone away because I was constantly looking at the Kickstarter and said go to sleep, and
Very cool.
here we are with
Wow.
5 minutes left.
5 minutes to go. I forgot to show this earlier, but here's a prototype I made of the dice tray that we just recently
Oh,
made.
nice.
So I've been putting my 3D printer to good work.
Nice.
So you can check this out. This is pretty much
That is a great
final.
size.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll show you. This is 9 dice, which is the most that you'll be rolling at a time in Sagrada. So hopefully I'm going to angle the camera down a bit so you can see.
Oh,
Got
yeah,
plenty of
lots
space in there.
Tons of space. And the nice thing is then you could pass that to another player.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Roll, draw your dice, pass it along.
Oh, yeah. That is cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be a little bit of assembly, but it shouldn't be there's kind of no way to screw it up.
And you mentioned that you might have some of those for sale at the booths at conventions.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like for how we're going to offer this one. It will for sure not be exclusive to the Kickstarter version, but that's you're guaranteed to get one if you back at the
you for sure, if you want it, you might as well get it now.
It will likely be something that we offer as a promo through like the BGG promo store, and maybe we'll have some available at conventions and such, but I'm still not quite sure where that looks, but I didn't want people to feel like to get the wrong impression that this was intended to be a Kickstarter exclusive. Versus the player board, the Kickstarter player board is indeed exclusive.
Totally. And now that people have seen how amazing, you guys show it one more time, one last time. Show.
The dice tray.
Oh yeah. If you're a $35 pledge person, you could just bump it up to $39, and you can get that and get the 5th Kickstarter only player board.
I know.
Oh, so you can get a 5th one of those as well. So if people
Yes.
like want to play green, you know, if there's someone who wants a green board,
all the way green, green. What's your color? What's your real quick?
Yeah,
color?
I'm actually not yellow. That's my color.
Not yellow is your color? I like
yellow is my color. I had found too many people had a specific color, and then if it didn't come in the game, then they would be whining the whole game. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. So I decided, what color do I not want to be? And then when people are choosing their colors, if I just say just not yellow, then I'll have options. Like, I'm flexible, but I'm not like a pushover. I still have, you know, a preference. So. And it also, I found a lot of people I played with, like, for instance, Sen. For anyone who doesn't know, I co-host the Maple Syrup Show with. He's yellow all the time. And a few other of my friends always choose yellow. So that also helped with just me not fighting with them.
Oh, I want to make sure to address this question that came up. Sorry, we're getting right to the end, but I saw this question come through about whether or not we're going to put Sagrada on Tabletopia, which is an tabletop simulator.
Yeah, good question.
Really popular. No plans right now, but definitely something we'll consider. So it's not off the table, but it's not on right now. So thanks for the great question.
Yeah,
we definitely talking with the Tabletopia folks. And more to come on that. But as of right now,
we're 99 seconds.
Oh, we're down to the seconds?
We're in the seconds.
I love it. Oh, it's the countdown. 80.
Wow.
85.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's it's so wild. It feels like it was just yesterday, and it feels also like it's been a while.
Simultaneously, like some time stuff going on.
Like, my phone's gonna be really happy with not having to check Kickstarter every 2 seconds.
Burning a hole in your pockets from use.
Yeah. I can start not getting yelled at of like, stop checking it.
We have under a minute left. Oh my goodness.
It's Thanksgiving right now in Canada.
It is. That's right.
Yesterday I was at like a meal with a bunch of people, and every so often I'd pull out the phone, and they were like, "Put it away."
No, this is important. I gotta check.
Yeah. 30 seconds.
Well, happy Canadian Thanksgiving to you.
Well, thank you. It's easy to choose something to be thankful for. So, hey, we got one more backer even. Woo-hoo.
We are thankful for all of our backers. That's for sure.
Wow.
15 seconds.
Oh, side note, it's crazy how many of those wood towers?
Just over 50. 3,
2, 1.
0.
Oh, someone snuck one in.
That'll happen.
One last pledge.
I've got the crowd cheering.
Nice. Wow.
Was that cheating? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's been an incredible experience for me. It's been incredible working with two fantastic game designers on this. We are really excited to keep going with keeping you informed on where we're at in the process as we go. We're starting some pre-press stuff right now, so that'll keep things moving really smoothly. And I love keeping everyone updated. So if it does feel like it's been a little too long for you as we go, please reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and a little poker prod to give more information is never a bad thing.
Very cool. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Honestly, I don't have much to say. I just echo what Ben said. Big thank you. It's been amazing, really cool, and on behalf of Adrian as well, just a big thank you.
Very good. Yeah, thanks again. Couldn't do this without you. Honestly, you make this happen. And thanks again. So, and I appreciate everybody joining in for the live stream. It's been fun getting your questions and answering those. And we're gonna sign off now. So thanks a lot.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.